I don't think the press did their job in this election, with very few exceptions. So the hard questions about what was real and what was realistic and what could happen with the right kind of election outcome.
Oh, Hillary, Hillary, Hillary. The media has done nothing but butter you up throughout the whole election period and afterward. And they continue to trash Trump, and you're still whining about not having won the election.
Take quite a while longer. What happens to other folks who want a chance to run against her?
Because she's doing what they call in politics freezing pockets. Because the donors are giving her money thinking she's going to run. That means they're not going to have available money for other candidates if she doesn't. And I don't think she's going to give it to them.
She's on her way to deciding.
We'll see.
About deciding.
We couldn't help her any more than we have.
I know.
You know, I mean, she's got just a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaign, so better.
And of course, everybody knows that your idea of the right election outcome would be a win for you.
Why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
We're never really joined. And so, you know, I found it frustrating, obviously, because I think I could have defended and lifted up a lot of what I believed we could do. But really, Ezra, when you get 32 minutes in a whole year to cover all policy, how does that work?
And I caught what you said there about the right election outcome and lifting up or whatever it is you said you were going to do with that. Well, you're the one who said,
And deep-seated cultural codes, religious beliefs, and structural biases have to be changed.
what you're really all about is trying to turn America into a racist, sexist, dystopian society.
You know, this country has still not recovered from its original sin, which is true.
I mean, if we're honest, for a lot of well-meaning, open-minded white people, the sight of a young black man in a hoodie still evokes a twinge of fear. Far too many women are still denied critical access to.
There has to be a reckoning. I agree with that.
And as I believe, the advancement of the full participation of women and girls in every aspect of their societies is the great unfinished business of the 21st century.
I have a lot of experience dealing with men who sometimes get off the reservation in the way they behave and how they speak. Despite all the challenges we face, I remain convinced that yes, the future is female. Just look at the amazing energy we saw last month as women organized a march.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
I believe, absent Comey, I might have picked up 1 or 2 points among white women. I'll give you the example I use in the book.
Oh, so now it's James Comey's fault that you lost the election. Oh no, it can't be just James Comey. It's got to be white women too, of course. You're boiling everything down to race and gender again.
So before the Comey letter on October 28th, I was 26 points ahead in the Philadelphia suburbs. That could have only happened if I had a big vote from women, Republican women, independent women.
Bull crap. That only could have happened if you had enough people agreeing with your identity politics, whether they were men or women. But they would have had to be Democrat to begin with.
A week later, 11 days later, I win the Philadelphia suburbs by 13 points. I needed to win by 18 points to be able to counterbalance the rest of the state. That wasn't just me. That's how Democrats win Pennsylvania in presidential campaigns. It stopped my momentum, and it hurt me, particularly among women.
What the heck is that supposed to mean? It hurt me among women especially. What do you mean by that? It didn't hurt me that you didn't win.
And I have so much anecdotal evidence for this.
Yeah, right, like your sniper fire stories, or your claim that men get off the reservation and how they behave toward you.
And now researchers are starting to pull some of this together.
Oh, now we're all supposed to just bow down to your supposed wisdom because you mentioned the nebulous researchers. Yeah, right. I don't think that a bunch of feminist activists qualify as non-biased researchers. And why do you want to research your loss anyway?
You know, all of a sudden the husband turns to the wife. I
told you she's going to be in jail. You don't want to waste your vote. You know, the boyfriend turns to the girlfriend and says, she's going to get locked up. Don't you hear? She's going to get locked up. I mean, all of a sudden, it becomes a very fraught, kind of conflictual.
Seriously, Hillary, do you not realize how sexist you are being? Do you really not see it? It is this sexism that lost you the election, Hillary. Your anecdotal so-called evidence is crap. Look, it is not that way at all. There are people saying that you should be in prison or that you might be locked up. But guess what? It's not just men saying it, Hillary, and they are not telling their wives or girlfriends to think it. Because guess what, Hillary? You might not believe this, but women do have minds of their own. You're not the only woman who has a mind of, well, I'm not even sure you have a mind of your own because you bought into this feminism hook, line, and sinker. But the reason why women are not voting for you is because we are sick of people like you infantilizing us and making as if we are pathetic little flowers that are only doing what men tell us to do because we don't have enough a mind of our own to make our own decisions. And that women are so terribly oppressed in Western society. It is not like that, Hillary. Now, I have seen quite a few of these stupid Hillary for prison memes. I've also seen a lot of Make America Great Again and Hope and Change and Yes We Can and Pepe the Frog. And you know what? It is not just men perpetuating these memes, Hillary, including the ones about you. And it's not women perpetuating them just because men tell them to. It's because these women find out things for themselves and they decide they don't want feminists running things and trying to run their lives and trying to tell them what they can't do. So if you can't learn anything, Hillary, and you obviously can't face the fact that you lost, please, for the love of the universe, shut up.
Election was how effective the Russians through WikiLeaks were in weaponizing information against me. And
oh, so now it wasn't just James Comey, and it wasn't just men bossing the women around. It was the Russians and WikiLeaks, and they didn't just simply dump information, they weaponized it. Powie, blam, boom. Wonder if they used nuclear warheads or if they used shotguns or what they weaponized their information with. Hillary, you're trying to look like a victim and you are failing badly.
I was really quite taken aback at the attitude and the behavior of my general election opponent, because he made no bones about it, literally.
I'm not just taken aback, I'm disgusted by your attitude and your behavior. You make no bones about it, and I won't use the term literally incorrectly the way you did. Only a sexist boils everything down to gender all the time and cries and whines, I didn't get my way because I'm a woman.
He was so sexist, and
that's the typical accusation that you and your fan club make when you don't get your own way. And because you're a leftist and a feminist. And I've learned a long time ago not to trust any accusations of sexism or racism coming from that particular party.
Not just about me, but about his Republican woman opponent.
What Republican opponent? You didn't have a woman running against you when Trump was running against you in 2016. Even before it was Trump, it was Bernie, and you knocked him out of the race. You were the only woman running in 2016. There was a woman that was running in the previous election, but you and your Democrats hated her guts. Her name? Sarah Palin. You sure as heck didn't want her anywhere near office because she was a Republican, conservative, whatever.
Women and reporters on TV and elsewhere. So it was really a part of the atmosphere. And
liar, liar, sniper fire.
I want not just women, but men as well to know this is endemic. Sexism and misogyny are still endemic. We've made progress, but we can't allow ourselves to go backward.
Oh, so you're still hammering away at that old fallacy, are you? Look, Hillary, just because you lost the election does not mean that America is going to be moving backward. The only sexists are the feminists and the MGTOW. The rest of us normal people are not sexist. If you got into power, Hillary, the world would move backward because you want to play suffragette. And we're long past that era and we are not going back as long as feminists stay out of power.
And as I point out in the book, it never was just about me. I happen to have the big bullseye on my head, but...
Oh, boo-hoo. Poor you, poor Hillary. You're such a poor little innocent victim. Oh, please. You brought this on yourself. If you have a target on your head or anywhere else, you put it there with your stupid feminism.
It was about women, and in the months since, we've seen reports out of Silicon Valley and other businesses, as well as politics, where distinguished women like Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris or...
Oh, and I suppose anybody who does not think like Elizabeth Warren and like you, who doesn't go around crying, oh, it's because I'm a woman, is not distinguished.
Or Kirsten Gillibrand,
Oh, Hillary, just put a sock in it. I'm not impressed by your rattling off a list of women's names.
You know, others in the media are being treated to a level of overt sexism.
Lies. Every time Hillary says something, it is apparent she is weaponizing her thought processes and messages against women because her messages are so patronizing. Against men because you pretty much have to hate men to be a feminist. And she's a feminist. Now, while she's very busy spinning her Russian WikiLeaks wild conspiracy theories, trying to excuse why she lost, some of us are trying to make the world a better place, and one of the ways that we're trying to do that is by playing music by masters such as Rachmaninoff. And some of us do not blame any failures that we have on gender or on skin color.